Welcome to Of the People. We are thrilled to have with us the governor of Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson, running for president. Governor, welcome to Of the People.
Well, thank you. It is great to be in New Hampshire again. What a beautiful day. This is about my 8th trip, so glad to be here.
Granite Staters need their politics local, and the more you come, the better you do. It's just, we like retail politics. But let me ask you, so you were 2 terms elected governor, last time by a landslide, by all modern standards, 3 terms in Congress. You were appointed to as the administrator of DEA. Fentanyl's a big issue up here in New Hampshire. As president, how do you tackle the fentanyl crisis?
Well, you have to do it by understanding the depth of the problem and how fentanyl is the most dangerous drug, addictive drug that we've had in my lifetime, if not beyond that. And so you've got to make sure you go to the source of it. We've got to stop the flow coming in, which is difficult because fentanyl is easy. It's very small. It's hard to detect. It's not the building the wall, it is the ports of entry where it's coming in. Secondly, you've got to make sure that you educate our young people and young adults as to the dangers of buying a pill on the street. It could be a Percocet pill that's laced with fentanyl that can kill you. And then we've got to do more in our treatment and making sure treatment is available to those that have addiction issues. And so all of that is how you address the fentanyl crisis that we have. Of all of that, the most important is to go after the cartels and stopping the production of it. And then secondly, that education side and the risk associated with it. No one wants to lose a family member to fentanyl.
Right, and it's a big issue up here, unlike in New York City where they're giving out Narcan and other things in vending machines, which doesn't seem to me to be the way to solve the problem. It aids the addiction.
Well, yeah, that's the harm reduction efforts, that somehow we reduce the harm of it, but you sustain the addiction. And I'm for stopping the addiction, treating the addiction, and also stopping the supply. To me, I'm a rule of law guy. I'm a former prosecutor, and those people who peddle that dangerous substance and kill people, they just need to go to jail and take it off the streets.
Do the crime, do the time.
Absolutely.
Agreed. So 2-term governor in Arkansas, you're running for president. Basically what you're saying to the American people is, here's what I've done in Arkansas, here's what I can do for the country. So looking back at your time as governor, tell me the 2 or 3 things that you're most proud of accomplishing in Arkansas that's, hey, I can do this for the country.
I started with a principle, which is the private sector of our economy should grow faster than the government sector. And with that principle, I lowered taxes from 7% to 4.9%. So we made us more competitive. I reduced the regulatory burden. 100,000 jobs were created in the private sector. Arkansas will be leading the nation in steel production. We partnered with Sig Sauer here in New Hampshire. They built an ammunition facility in Arkansas. I recruited them, and they're expanding here as well. So I didn't steal it from New Hampshire.
Don't take them from New Hampshire. We need Sig Sauer up here.
Absolutely, but it's a good partnership that we have. But that's what I did as governor, and so we balanced the budget for 8 years, lowered taxes, improved education, and I left a $2 billion surplus for my successor. And so those are some of the things that I did as governor. But when I point to the record, of course, as you said, it goes beyond that. When you're looking at the threats to Israel from terrorist groups, that's what I had to deal with after 9/11, is protecting our country from a terrorist attack. Whenever you look at the border security issues, I had that responsibility in the Bush administration.
You were the undersecretary, were you not, for border security?
I was. And so you've got to look at not just what people say, but have a proven record of making a difference in all the issues that we face.
Appreciate that. Last question, because I know you're busy. Let's talk about Israel. The attack by Hamas, I think, has galvanized most of the world. Israel is about to, by all accounts, launch a ground campaign to eradicate Hamas. There's already talk, certainly out of the European Union, sort of being whispered out of this White House about a proportionate response. I don't know how you have a proportionate response with rape, murder, and terrorists, but give us your take on what's going on in the Middle East, and how do you solve the problem of Iran? Because that's really the head of the snake.
Well, the only proportionate response that makes sense to me is to abolish Hamas, the terrorist group that was responsible for the atrocities to civilians there in Israel. And so you can't footsie around with them. You've got to go in and you've got to destroy them. Now, whenever you're looking at how Israel conducts this campaign, today they announced that they're having an exit route, giving the civilians an opportunity to leave Gaza and go to a more safe environment. And so they're going to have to take steps like that, which I applaud. But Hamas, the terrorist group, is a target. You mentioned Iran. Of course, the $6 billion that was given to them, I'm glad it's been blocked. They should never have been promised to them. They funded terrorist groups, and we have got to show strength with Israel in terms of dealing with Iran as well. We don't want the war to widen, but strength is what deters other nations from engaging against Israel or against the United States.
Appreciate that. Governor, we'd love to have you back on for a full radio show so you can talk directly to the people of New Hampshire. Thank you for stopping by at the First in the Nation Summit in New Hampshire. We've been talking with Governor Asa Hutchinson, First in the Nation from Nashua, New Hampshire, running for president. Governor, thank you for joining us.
It's great to be with you. Thank you.
Pleasure.